Hi there. I wanted to take you through some of the proofing tools I've developed for Microsoft Word, but you can import the text from anywhere and then re-export it. But the point is to help get clarity, concision, the famous 5 Cs. And let's get straight into it so I can show you what it is. Now, this is just some randomly generated text from ChatGPT, but for the purposes of this, we can pretend it's a piece of technical writing. Now, one of the tools is if you have your Simplified Technical English dictionary, if you've got it in Excel, text file, or whatever software, you can apply it and it will highlight those words. For example, I don't use the word like when it means such as. You know the deal. The one word, one meaning, and also ambiguous words. And for sake of localization, for example, you need to be very clear and make sure that the words you use are the most common. And well, you know the spiel. But anyway, it highlights all these words, and you can decide whether you want to keep them, change them, but at least it lets you know they're there in the document. Okay. Then the next thing is adverbs. Adverbs really add clutter, and they're often unnecessary. Sometimes, you can use them, the qualifiers and so forth, but often they're unnecessary. So you can choose whether to keep them again, whether it helps give a tone to your document, but if you just want to be procedural and just get to the point immediately, you can check them out and decide whether to remove them. The next thing is also adjectives as well. He gave me a warm handshake. All right, that sets the tone, but he gave me a handshake, really. Um, and again, so it highlights all these adjectives, and you have the option. So we've decluttered with the simplified technical English, the adverbs, and now the adjectives. So we're really getting somewhere. Now, this doesn't take away from the main thing that you have to do as a technical writer. It doesn't change your profession. You have to apply your profession and your discipline. But it really helps, and it's over and above what native word functionality does. The next thing are phrasal verbs or prepositional verbs, really. For example, here I've highlighted the word setup. Now, there are various reasons for this. Very often people use setup as the verb and setup as the noun interchangeably, which is wrong. So obviously you can check that out. But most people who are not native speakers don't really know what prepositional or phrasal verbs are. So, for example, sit down, which is an imperative anyway, you can just say sit, shut down, shut, close. There are over 5,000 phrasal verbs in English. So again, you can go and check all these phrasal verbs because in terms of localization, you don't necessarily want them. It's up to you, but they get highlighted, which is the most important thing. The next thing, this is more about translation. Very often you spend a lot of time translating. So in this case, well, because I work in Italian and English, but in this case, I highlight a piece of text that maybe I want to check for a translation. And just for time's sake, I do this. And then I just develop this little tool. The highlighted text is automatically inserted in the in the user interface. Sorry, in the user interface, you can edit it in there, and then you can choose. You want to use reverse, DeepL, Google, whatever. Click the button, and it goes. In this case, it's reverso, and it automatically inserts the text in reverso, so you don't waste time even copy pasting. You select the text, click, boom, there you go. And you got, in this case, an Italian option. So I find that really useful. So these are tools in terms of proofing, in terms of working with text over and above word functionality. And I think they're real time savers, which is why I'm showing them to you. This is a synonym checker. Uh, thesaurus gives you, the word thesaurus gives you a certain number. I've added to that. There are additional synonyms. So there are secondary synonyms, primary synonyms. You can get the lot if you need them. Maybe you've used the same word too often in a document. You just want to make sure. So that's another little function there. Headers and footers are they're a real pain in Word, and Word has never really sorted these out. And it takes an awful amount of time to do them in Word, and they're finicky. So I've just made something where you can go backwards and forwards with the arrows through your headers and your footers, link them in a different way. It's more stable. It builds on the Word functionality, but it sort of takes care of a few of the bugs. So there you go. That's another useful thing. And it's a time saver because you finish a document and then you realize the headers and footers are gone and the deadline is fast approaching. It's not fun. The next one, tables. Again, with those two black arrows, you can go backwards and forwards through all the tables in your document and check that they're all formatted correctly. Here, again, ChatGPT gave me a nice little table to start from. Uh, you can format the table. So the first thing you want to do with the button, quick click, there you go, click again, and it's formatted. This was a particular client that wanted it formatted this way. I wouldn't have chosen to do it this way. It's customizable. So you can make your own bespoke tables and you can just go through, click, click, click. You can just do the headers if you want a simple table, or you can reset the table if you're not happy about it. I think it's a pretty useful tool. As I say, it's a time saver. It really is a time saver. You sort out your headers and footers, make sure all the tables are consistent throughout the document. You've got your STE applied. You've decluttered text over and above what you do as a technical writer and your discipline. So, as I said, I've been using this for years and I've been building on it for years. I mean, every month or so, I sort of refine it and make sure that it works on the most recent version of Word. So there you go, and that's what it is. Oh, wow. So thanks a lot for following me, and there's my email, and let me know if you have any questions or if you're interested. So thank you.